In this week's Blizz Pro Weekly, World of Warcraft's in-game store gets a preview in PTR, StarCraft 2's new patch brings new observer features, Blizzard is set to make a major Diablo announcement at GamesCom, and Blizz Pro releases a new website dedicated to Hearthstone. Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of Blizz Pro Weekly. As always, I'm your host, looking ever so really woolly right now, actually. Chris Arnone. Thanks for watching, as always. Let's get straight to it with World of Warcraft.
Here's the beef.
So the latest PTR patch in World of Warcraft has come down with the highly controversial in-game store. Now currently the store only has one item, the Enduring Elixir of Wisdom. Now it grants a 100% increase to experience points. It's purchasable as a single item or as a stack of 5. Now right now we have no indication of how much this really costs because the PTR store is using sort of a test currency and there's no indication of a real world conversion or value of any sort. Now also of note with this elixir, it is Battle.net account bound. It lasts for 1 hour and it will persist through death. That's pretty cool. Now keep in mind right now this is the PTR, so things could certainly change by the time it actually comes out. It's also important to remember that they have only confirmed that they are planning this for Asia. So we might not even see it anytime soon at all. Alright, StarCraft 2.
You want a piece of me, boy?
So a new StarCraft 2 patch released just this week with some new features. Now granted, they mostly center around the editor and layout for observers. Now one of the major changes for observer mode in StarCraft 2, you can customize your UI layout for observer mode. Now this is something that's really geared more toward tournament organizers, YouTube shoutcasters. It allows them to design their own layouts based on what they want to do. Blizzard made it really, really easy. All you do is you drop your files into a specific folder, and then in the option where you select your theme, that's where you go. All right, so you select the one that you created, and suddenly it's available in your observer options. Now we're expecting to see a lot of cool layouts in the coming months and when watching future tournaments. Also added to observer mode is the ability for the observer to zoom out even further than ever possible before on the map, so they can get a sense of those really large scale battles where not everything was able to be seen on the screen at one time. Last but certainly not least is the new colorblind mode added to the game. That's something many game companies often overlook. People with disabilities such as colorblindness or people who are epileptic, they have trouble playing games with a lot of colorful visual effects that are going on. So it's good that Blizzard is taking care of those folks as well. Now there are a ton more changes that we just don't have time to talk about, sort of that fine minutia with this update. But of course you can head over to blizzpro.com and check out the full patch notes, every single detail. Now last week we talked about the WCS regional finals taking place August 10th and 11th. Well, Blizz Pro is going to host another Barcraft in Kansas City. Now this one, not at Snow & Co. This is going to be at Callahan's on 87th Street in Lenexa, Kansas. So it's on the Kansas side of the greater Kansas City metro area on Sunday, August 11th. The event is going to start at noon. Now we're not quite expecting as big a turnout as we usually get because that weekend there are just so many other events happening in the area, like for the International 3. But if you're in KC, you want to come and check out some StarCraft 2 action and meet some of us awesome Blizz Pro people, swing on by. And we might have a few prizes to give away while we're at it. All right, let's talk about Diablo 3.
Stay a while and listen.
Are you planning to attend GamesCom this year? Man, I wish I could, but it's in Europe, and that's a long way away. Well, if so, mark your calendar for August 21st, all right? Because we have an announcement, sort of announcement of an announcement from Blizzard, and that is that they will be making a special announcement, the Diablo team will, at GamesCom. So the message specifically sent out is, we're making a special announcement that's sure to capture the attention of the heavens, burning hells, and the shadowed places that lie between. The event will take place August 21st at 11:30 a.m. local to Gamescom. So let's talk about what that might be. First off, a lot of people are probably going to go, oh, it's something related to the console version. But we seriously doubt that. Now, we know the Diablo team has been working on what they call Loot 2.0. We also know they're working on the expansion, which Mike Morhaime has stated in past quarterly investment calls. Now, neither of which is scheduled to be released until after BlizzCon in November. We also know the devs have said they are actively working on patch 1.0.9. More than that, we learned today that Nick Carpenter, VP of Cinematics at Blizzard, has stated that they just finished another cinematic and can't wait to show it off to the world. A lot of things here, so what does this all tell us? Well, we're sure it's something pretty big. I mean, really, GamesCom is freaking massive. And the Diablo team has been pretty quiet talking about the new changes with the game, much to the chagrin of the community. And we think Gamescom is going to be one of the major announcements the community is looking for. Will it be the expansion? Maybe. They did reveal Diablo 3 in Europe back in 2008. Now, many people will claim the announcement for that will only come at BlizzCon, Blizzard's own event. But Blizzard has proven very recently they're willing to make big announcements at other events, like they announced Hearthstone at PAX East. Another possibility is showing off a major patch that will change the course of the game. Think of it sort of like an expansion, but without having to buy an expansion. It'll include maybe the itemization work, PvP, new endgame mode, stuff like that. It might well be an expansion, but it'll give Blizzard time to tide the community over until that big official expansion gets announced at BlizzCon. Now, our best guess, is that we'll hear about a major patch at BlizzCon, and then it'll get released shortly after BlizzCon, which means those of us attending Blizzard's event will get to play it firsthand and feel what it's like. And then we'll get the expansion reveal at BlizzCon, and probably get a release date of mid to late 2014. But we'll just have to wait and see together. Enough about Diablo. How about some Hearthstone?
Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Today in Hearthstone, we're not going to talk so much about the game itself, but about us. BlizzPro has launched a new website this week, and it's dedicated to their upcoming online card game, Hearthstone. Now, when BlizzPro was created a few months back, one of the ideas that JR had was to expand it out as a network of sites for each Blizzard game. The idea was that BlizzPro would be sort of a centerpiece, a hub for Blizzard Entertainment fans who enjoy all the games and their franchises, all their products, very much like he does. However, one of the things lacking with that particular approach was that you can't really get really in-depth with all the individual games, get into all the details, the minutiae. We end up covering more of the general news, sort of like the show. We just can't get that deep over the course of one show that covers everything. But that's what's, going on with these new game sites that we're creating on BlizzPro. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. And the first one is for the upcoming game, Hearthstone. Now, this site has a dedicated staff whose job it will be solely creating Hearthstone content, whether it's news, guides, card strategies, even a card database. Some of the new things on this site you can expect. There will be a Hearthstone dedicated podcast called HearthPro Show. It'll be hosted by Rongar, formerly from HearthstonePodcast.com, and he'll be joined by co-host Zen Style. We also plan on releasing brand new forums for people to discuss card strategies and deck building, and when the game hits beta, we'll have a lot of video content planned, either through live stream or here on YouTube, maybe both. Last but certainly not least, the team is currently working on a card database that will also have a deck builder in it. So you can definitely hit the metagame through this website. Now, if you want to check it out, the site has already gone up. It is hearthstone.blizzpro.com. All right, now let's talk about the actual game. So last week we talked about Hearthstone livestream that was coming up, so it's now past, and they were showing off the Forge and how JR, he really thought the beta was imminent since they were doing that, all right? He was wrong. He thought we'd have it by now, by the time we're filming. Well, not so much. We have no beta. However, we learned a lot of cool things about this new feature Hearthstone is going to have. First thing is, it's no longer called the Forge, all right? They are now calling it the Arena. Now, too many people thought, you hear the Forge and they thought it was something where you do card construction stuff, when really it's more of a tournament type system. That makes sense. I thought it was kind of a strange name myself. But the way the Arena works is you buy in with gold, which is their in-game currency. You can either buy it with real money or earn it through just playing the game. And you get to build a 30-card deck. Now, first off, you're given 3 random heroes. You choose one. Then based on that hero, you get 3 random cards. And once again, you choose one. Then one card goes into your deck, and you're given 3 more random cards, and you choose one. That happens 30 times until you have your 30-card deck. So what makes that so different is you don't know what cards you're going to get at the beginning. You don't get to look at them all and figure out a strategy. It's round by round. You get 3 random cards, you pick one. 3 more random cards, you pick one. So it definitely sort of changes how you got to feel that out and make your decisions on the fly and build it very, very quickly. Now, once you build your deck, you're put into an arena where you play against people who went through the exact same process you did. You continue playing until you lose a total of 3 games. They really like the number 3 in this game. So if you win, you keep going. Each time you win, your rewards at the end will increase. When you finally lose your 3 matches, you're taken to a screen that has a key which opens your treasure chest. In the chest will be rewards. You are always guaranteed at least 1 pack of cards in this chest, but based on victories, you could get more packs of cards, you could get gold. The developers have said that there is a system in place where if you are able to win a certain number of games, you could potentially, what they say, go infinite, which means you just earn enough gold back to, pay your entry fee. You could easily re-enter in yet another arena and play all over again and just, keep doing that and never run out of gold if you're good enough, if you figure out the system well enough. But that's really, really cool. This very much plays out really similar to how drafting works in Magic and how the tournament structure works in Magic Online. Certainly not a bad game to emulate when you're talking about CCGs. Now, there's still some bugs with the system, as can be expected. Some server problems with the live stream, graphical bugs. It's a beta. Well, it's not even a beta. It's a pre-beta. It's an alpha, so of course there's going to be some bugs. But this is Blizzard. They're going to do everything they can to work those kinks out, both before and after release. All right. No bitch session this week. I just got nothing to be angry about. I'm just, happy guy. It happens sometimes. I'm sorry. It's disappointing for some people. But, you can check me out on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. I'm a Goodreads author. Of course, subscribe and listen to Twizcast and our new Hearthstone show as well. Check out BlizzPro.com, of course. News, reviews, interviews, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games. Stay beardy, my friends.